Okay, I want to do a quick video on the fly here, answering a couple questions. I'll try to keep this close to my face because I don't have my microphone. Having a conversation with a friend of mine on here, and naturally he's getting frustrated because that happens when I talk to people pretty often. We were talking about different belief systems, and I told him that I never really fully felt like Buddhism was my path, or that I necessarily agreed or enjoyed. I don't know what word you want to use. So Buddhism wasn't really for me. And he kind of responded with, well, Theravada Buddhism and Advaita Vedanta are both non-duality. So, like, where do you fall? I think was his question. And I don't. It's the problem. A lot of this awakening stuff you can't classify, which really becomes hard for people, and even for me sometimes. I don't know what to call it, how to talk about it. Anyway, then he went on to say, sometimes I don't understand you at all. It seems like if nothing matters, like you say, why don't you just take your own life? Sorry. It's a legit question. I get it. And then he says, even if you are enlightened, you still suffer. Because we were having a conversation, and I was telling him how I'm kind of struggling, realizing that nothing I do or say on YouTube really will help anyone. But the frustration was coming from another shift that's happening. And when I told him, I think he kind of locked it into a concept, which is totally normal. Anyway, so the questions. Oh, his first one too was... Okay, so the three questions were, if nothing matters, why don't you take your own life? How do you not subscribe to Buddhism if you are in the non-duality, system? And then the first one is, why does some become awakened and others don't? So I actually don't believe there really is anything called awakening. I just use that word because there's really no other way to explain it. So I guess the better way to explain this is like you stop identifying with your thoughts. And when that happens, such a massive shift takes place that a lot of people call awakening, and so do I, because what else are we going to call it? That then the problem is when the ego hears the word awakening, it thinks, oh, they are awakened and others are not, which is not necessarily the case. So... Gosh, it's really annoying. I frustrate myself trying to explain these things, so bear with me. It's an us and them thing. So you're looking around thinking that, oh, they have it and we don't, or that person has it and that person doesn't. It's not really the case. The individual self, the struggling, the wanting to know everything, the seeking, all that stuff, the beliefs, the religion, everything that I once thought was true, I found that there was nothing true in it, in the concepts. So the concepts disappeared, and then what was left was this beautiful, peaceful state, which now I have been in long enough that I can admit is not always peaceful. Sometimes there are frustrations and struggles, but it's not suffering anymore because I'm so detached from my thoughts being who I am that when I have a frustration, like what I was explaining to him on about YouTube and about sharing, it's just another shift happening that I'm watching happen. So if I was identified with who I was and I was sharing on YouTube to help people, and then it didn't work and nobody was being helped, I would be crushed, because that's who I thought I was, someone who's on YouTube to help people. But I'm not, so it doesn't bother me. Now, there is a frustration that has come up recently where I realize, oh, I am actually unable to help anyone in any way at all. All I can do is share, and if their soil is prepped and ready, something may grow from what I say, but it is completely in their court. The ball is not in mine. I can't make it happen. I can't train someone to do it. It's not like learning to play a sport. I am not a coach. I share the experience that I've had, hoping that the spirit behind the ego in the person will pick up on the truth of what I'm saying and drop more of the ego to experience and realize what I am trying to point at. So I do not believe some people are awakened and others are not. I believe there are levels of awareness. Well, at least from my own perspective. I can't speak for anyone else. I was very, very unaware and blind and numb. And it seems that all of that disappeared and I've become a lot more aware. Now, I'm not saying anything more than that or claiming anything more than that. I just have a strangely, it seems supernatural now because it's just so on all the time. The awareness, being conscious of what's happening, what I'm feeling, the thoughts going through my mind. So yeah, I just think some people are unaware of what's happening, and then other people's kind of snap into being aware, and then other people slow and steady become more and more aware. And it seems to be a waking up process. Maybe that's why it's called awakening. But it's not that some people have it and some people don't. That's such an ego way to think about it. As you are this, you have this, and I don't have this. The ego always wants to have or gain. Spirit is the opposite. You lose everything, and what's left is your pure, formless self, which can also be called no self. So what's left is a lot simpler, a lot more pure. It's not conceptual. And it's hard to explain. The other one, if everything is meaningless, why don't you just take your own life? Oh, man. I see where it's coming from. It's also hard to answer. Because, okay, I was trying to find meaning in my life. I tried everything. I did everything. I had different jobs. I did different, I joined every cause that I thought you should join. I've tried different religions. I was a Christian for 10 years. I read voraciously. I had friends of all walks of life, all ages. I annoyed everybody with my questions. I just lived a lot of life. I traveled all sorts of places, made every bad decision you could ever make, was really a terrible person, according to social standards, and then slowly changed and became a better person, you could say, according to social standards. And I've been on both sides of the fence. I've done everything you could do. Not everything, just a lot. And I never found what I was looking for. I never found meaning in any of it. So I gave up. And then I had a huge shift in awareness and consciousness, whatever you want to call it. And I knew, I felt, I experienced that there is no meaning in anything. It turns out meaning only exists because I give something meaning. So the reason I could never find it is because I wasn't giving it. I wasn't giving it out. I was seeking, I was searching, I wanted to take something, I wanted to gain something. It's ego. Spirit is. It needs nothing. It has everything it needs. So when I say there's no meaning, it doesn't mean everything is meaningless. It just means there is no meaning until you give something meaning. So if you want to have a meaningful, rich, deep life, you can do that. But when you're aware that the meaning is given by you, it just changes it. So the meaning and the depth come from you. You are giving it to the thing, the action, the person, the religion that you are partaking in, that you are loving, that you are doing. So it's actually a more beautiful way to live because the meaning is being created by your hands, knowing the whole time that you are creating it and that you are giving it meaning. And the taking your own life thing, I I get the frustration in the comment, but it's kind of funny because it's impossible. You can't even do that. I mean, I think what you mean is like unaliving yourself, which that's possible. This body could die, but that's not, there's no reason or purpose to do that because I don't die. I'm just currently in this body right now and it's temporary, but what if it lives to be 100 or if it lives till tomorrow, it doesn't really matter because I am not the body. I live on past the body, and it's not a belief. I know it. I can feel it. Plus, I've had an out-of-body experience, so when you see yourself, your body, and you're not in it, your awareness shifts a little bit, a lot, a lot. So yeah, killing the body doesn't do anything. Oh man, it's so hard to explain because there's such a peace that I wouldn't call frustration and suffering anymore. I would you're just watching the frustration happen. So like with the sharing on YouTube and not knowing why I'm doing it and realizing that like it's the action that brings the knowing. So you can't sit around and read a book or believe something or whatever. I just felt like sharing on YouTube, so I started. And then, 80, 90 videos in, I realized, oh wow, I can't help anyone. I'm just getting more frustrated people, more questions. And, maybe I can to an extent, 1 or 2%, But no, it's a shift that I'm watching take place, and it's not causing me suffering. It's just causing the revelation to deepen, and it's because I took action. So without posting these videos, I would have never known this. And now I'm learning it through experience, because that's the only way you can really know anything. And it seems like there's always a frustration when you're being shown something or when there's a shift happening. It's just natural. It's part of the process. It's like I've said in another video. It's the contraction and expansion. It's the like a woman giving birth to a child. There's contractions, and then there's a release, and then contractions, and then a release. And it's not like everyone is just pointless. Everyone is moving her closer to the end result, which is the birth of a human life. So as we live and we find out more and more of who we are by proxy, by doing things and realizing that's not who we are, there is a contraction that's maybe comes with frustration or anger or whatever, but when you stop identifying with your body and your thoughts, those don't matter anymore. You watch the contraction and then you realize, oh, okay, here we go. There's going to be another one. I'm going to drop more self. And you know that it's all leading somewhere. Now, where it leads and where this is all going, I can't say because I don't know. I'm still limited. I'm still in a human body. I still have limits in this body. Now, someday, if I finally give birth to something or I have less and less self, maybe I'll be able to answer that question. Anyway, those are my thoughts on those few questions for now.